Okay, I want to wrap up just with a couple of comments in general about avoiding overuse injuries, and then some stuff about how to deal with them if you encounter them during a through hike. For me, it was completely a paradigm shift to think about my movement and my body as a cause of my problems, and then correspondingly to think about my movement and my body as the solution to my problems. So now, just like I used to geek out about stoves and about gear and tarps and resupply, I now try to geek out about my movement as well and my body and really understand how to use it and spend time and money on it, just like I spend time and money on everything in my pack. Because my body is the one piece of gear that I can't send home or swap out or upgrade with carbon fiber or titanium, not yet. And in my case, I had to get professional, outside objective assessment. I got professional help. And I'll put some resources in the description. You want someone, if I had gone to a foot doctor who had said, oh, you have foot pain. Your problem is a foot solution. It's going to be orthotics. I needed someone with a whole body approach who would say, oh, you have foot pain. Well, let's take a look at you have problems in your hip. That's probably causing your foot pain. So let's fix those first and then see where we're at. So you want someone with a whole body, very, very functional approach, like the functional movement crowd, I think has a really terrific way of looking at it. So don't Rolfers or structural integration people. They have an excellent understanding of how the body is connected systemically. So geek out about your body, learn about your movement, try to develop efficient movement so that you can make, as a thru hiker, you can hike more miles with less effort and less injury. And then if you were like me, if you thought of ibuprofen as something to allow you to hike through more pain, I'd encourage you to rethink that. Think of pain as information from your body. Your body tries to tell you when you're doing something wrong. It complains, and that complaint is useful information. Sometimes it means, ow, I'm sore, I need to rest and then I'll get stronger. Like your muscles do that. But your joints and your connective tissue will scream, whoa, whoa, no, no. And so maybe you need to change your movement, or maybe you need to take a day or two off for your body to recuperate before you move on. For me, thinking about pain in that fashion was completely different. Ibuprofen is still an incredible tool that allows you to, it's useful for dealing with injuries and for preventing them because of what it does for inflammation. But as a tool for masking pain, that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. And another paradigm shift for me was, I hate that I keep saying paradigm shift. It feels like a 1980s thing. Another paradigm shift for me was the idea that when something started hurting, I would not let myself compensate, that I would really focus on my body and my movement and slow down while my body recovered and moved. And that's a good transition into the last stuff that I want to talk about for a few minutes, which is what to do if you start getting near an overuse injury on a through hike. Okay, which was the last slide in my presentation. So the classic thing is the hiker goes in and, doctor, it hurts when I try to hike 25 miles a day, on my nearly injured knee. And the doctor says, oh, you should stop hiking. Well, can I get a second opinion? That's the classic hiker mentality. It's like any endurance athlete who is going to be able to push their body past its limits. You really have to be aware of yourself and what your limits are and how to deal with it. And so I just want to end with a few tips on what to do, if you approach that kind of case. You don't have, you're not yet off the trail because you haven't yet injured something, but you're really close. And say it hurts in a way that it doesn't normally hurt, in a bad way. You have joint pain or connective tissue pain, the kind where injuries take a long time to recover, a whole hiking season or maybe more. And so if that happens, I'd really encourage you to first make sure your priorities are in order, and that your first priority is always avoid a hike ending injury. And then subsequent to that, you want to recover your strength as a hiker, and then, if you can, make forward progress while that's happening. And so what that means is that can mean a couple of things. Most immediately, that might mean slowing down. If you slow down, you put less stress into your body with each step. And so if all you do is leave camp a little early, hike a little slower, take some breaks every now and then when you feel pain building up, and get to camp late, and live with that, your body can start repairing itself while you're making forward progress without knocking you off the trail. Because maybe if you pushed ahead at your usual comfortable speed, all you would do is the pain would build up, the injury would build up, and then bam, you're off the trail. That's where I think about those terms: speed, weight, and efficiency. Speed, bad; weight, bad; efficiency, good. Do what you can to manage those while your body is recovering its strength. And the next level of things to think about can sometimes be a little bit more difficult to even identify, let alone address. If your trail family, is a day and a half or two ahead of you, and you love them to death, and you want to hike with them, and you push yourself to catch up with them, and you push yourself so hard that you knock yourself off the trail, that sucks. Don't do that. You and them will both be much more distressed if you have to get off the trail because you were trying to catch up with them and you could not, than if you had let yourself be behind them by a day or two, and maybe you only saw them in towns every now and then. They'll be more happy knowing that you're still on the trail, somewhere behind them, hiking with some other people that maybe you don't love as much, whatever. I'm not going to judge. But you're better off not ending your hike rather than trying to catch up to them. Or if you think of yourself, you love to sleep in late, push hard, get to camp early because you like to enjoy the breaks. Is it worth maintaining that if it means you can't finish your hike? I think that's maybe that's your decision. I think that's kind of strange. I would say, if getting to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail, if getting to Canada or to Mexico, I'm not going to be prejudiced against Sobos. If getting to the other side of the trail is your priority, re-examine, everything, everything in your pack, look at your movement, look at your decisions, how you're hiking, Maybe you don't need to be making the speed you're making. Maybe you can put up with some long days and getting into camp late, for a week while your body's recovering. Maybe you can slow down and give up on your goal of getting to, Ashland in time for, some big party is going to happen, and give that up so that you can slow down and give your body time to adjust while you're on the trail. Because, like I said, it's all about avoiding a hike-ending injury while your body recovers and you're making forward progress so that hopefully you can finish your hike. And that was the last slide. I don't really have a conclusion other than that, other than this was the stuff that I was thinking about on the trail, which I found useful for me. And so, here, take this. If you find something that's useful, use it. If you think that something I've told you is completely wrong or stupid, please disregard it. Think for yourself. Figure things out for yourself. But if you haven't considered your body or your movement before, think about those things because they're really important. And depending on who you are, maybe they make or break your hike. Like maybe they made or broke, mowed or breaken. Ooh, like they might have been critical to my hike. Okay, so I'm going to try to put some more resources, just in case you're interested, into the description for this. And feel free to look me up on Facebook, Tom Holtz, Holz, or email or whatever. I can give you tips based on what I know, but what I know is limited. Again, I'm an amateur hiker. I'm not professionally trained or clinically experienced. So everything that I'm saying, take that as me geeking out to you like we've been hiking together for the last 30 or 45 minutes. So don't take what I take as gospel. I guess to wrap it up, if you're out on the trail now, good luck. I hope you don't have to deal with any of these problems. If you do, take heart that maybe there's a solution you hadn't considered. And that's it. I'm going to cut.